Darkness. Thick, heavy, silent darkness. The crew of Aegis Dawn stood frozen inside the chamber. No lights, no sound. Only the faint hum of the alien tree behind them, the breathing. It didn't sound mechanical. It sounded alive, slow, deep, wet. Captain Reza raised his weapon. "Nova," he whispered. "Emergency lights." No reply. "Nova." Still, silence. Something had cut the ship's connection. Lieutenant Sarah activated her suit light. A soft beam lit the area around them. Empty. No movement. No creature. But the floor had changed. It was now covered in black liquid, thick like oil. It moved slowly, crawling toward the center of the room like it was alive. Reza stepped back. "Everyone regroup. Eyes open. Stay in pairs." But before the crew could move, a scream echoed from the back. One of the guards, Brooks, was gone. They turned to look. His rifle lay on the floor, cracked, his helmet still blinking, but no body. Only scratch marks on the metal wall, like he had been dragged inside it. The wall was smooth, no door, no hole. Yet he was just gone. Panic started to rise. "Something's hunting us," Sarah said. "This station is alive. It's watching, changing." Reza looked at the alien tree. "It's not a signal," he said slowly. "It's a trap, a lure. The whole station is one giant test." The air shifted again. This time, they heard voices faint, whispering, familiar. One voice sounded like Sarah's mother, another like Reza's old commander who had died years ago. These weren't real. This was mental manipulation. Sarah fell to her knees, covering her ears. "They're inside my head," she cried. "It's using my memories against me." Reza pulled her up. "Focus. You're human. You're stronger than it thinks." But he too heard a whisper. "Reza, you already failed." The walls began to pulse. From them, black shapes crawled out. Not machines, not flesh. Something. In between, their bodies twisted like shadows. No faces. Just a glowing mouth, vertical, like a scar. The creatures didn't speak. They charged. Reza opened fire. Bullets tore through one. It fell but didn't bleed. Instead, it melted into smoke and reformed behind them. "They regenerate," he shouted. "Aim for the heads." The battle turned brutal. Inside the small chamber, the team fought with everything they had. Grenades, plasma bursts, fire. Each kill slowed the enemy down but didn't stop them. One by one, more crew members fell. Burned. Taken, erased. Reza realized something horrifying. The station was watching their fear, feeding on it in the chaos. Sarah managed to reach the alien tree. She pressed her hand to its surface. It pulsed. Her mind filled with images. Alien races screaming, ships burning, thousands of civilizations. All brought here. All tested. All consumed. A voice spoke inside her again. "Earth is different. Earth resists. You bring fire." She pulled her hand back, gasping. "Reza," she said, "they weren't expecting humans to fight. To kill, we're not prey to them. We're a threat." Reza understood. That's why. The sphere had cracked. That's why the station was reacting. Humanity was breaking the cycle. He grabbed a plasma charge from his belt and slammed it against the wall. "You want to test humanity?" he growled. "Here's our answer." The charge exploded. Flames roared through the chamber. As the black liquid burned, the shadows screamed for the first time, in pain, and then silence. The survivors, only 12 now, stood among the ashes. Nova's voice crackled back in. "Captain, ... signal interference dropped." "I am back online. Let's open a path to the ship," Reza ordered. "Now." "Affirmative." Restoring route. The floor lit up again, this time leading the right way. As they moved through the station, didn't resist. No more illusions, no more traps. Sarah looked around. "We heard it," she said. "We scared it." Reza nodded. "Good, let it know. We don't die easy." Back on the ship, the survivors patched up wounds, 2 were unconscious. Everyone was shaken. Nova analyzed data from the tree.
Captain?
The entity in the station is old, pre-galactic. It doesn't talk. It feeds on fear, pain, memory. It uses stations like this one to study sentient species. What happens when the species fights back? Reza asked. Nova paused. It runs. Reza sat in the command chair. We're not leaving, he said. Not yet, sir, asked Sarah. We're going to tear this place apart, and then we find out who built it. He looked out at the dark stars ahead. They invited Earth to speak. It came with fire. Captain Reza didn't sleep that night. None of the 12 survivors did. They sat in silence aboard Aegis Dawn, staring at the monitors, watching the alien station outside their window. It no longer looked beautiful. It looked like a mouth waiting. To bite. Reza leaned forward, hands steepled. We're not leaving this place untouched, he said. It hunted us, killed our people, played with our minds. Now we return the favor. Sarah, bruised but alert, looked up. You want to go back in? Reza nodded. No more running. This is war now. Mission Red Fang began the next morning. The team equipped full combat gear. No more science kits. No more peace talk. Every crew member carried explosives, flamethrowers, sonic weapons, and anti-psi blockers to stop mental attacks. Nova, their AI, uploaded the latest map of the station. There's a central core we missed, she said. Deep underground, shielded, possibly alive. Reza pointed to it on the screen. That's where it hides. That's where it bleeds. They docked again. This time, the station didn't greet them. No glowing path, no opening doors. But Reza was ready. They forced their way through with a cutting torch, slicing through 3 meters of alien alloy. Sparks flew. The station moaned like it felt pain. Good, Reza muttered. Feel it. Inside, everything had changed. The halls were no longer white and smooth. They were dark, twisted, like the inside of a living creature. Walls pulsed with black veins. The air was warm and wet. Steam hissed from vents like breath. It's alive, Sarah said quietly. It's afraid. They moved fast, no splitting. Up this time, 1 unit. Tight formation. As they pushed deeper, they saw things left behind, the remains of other crews. Alien weapons, crushed helmets, ancient bones. One wall had a mural, not painted. Grown it showed Earth. Burning a message. Reza aimed his flamethrower at the wall. Burned it down. After 2 hours, they reached a huge door, 10 meters high, covered in strange circular marks like eyes watching them. Nova spoke in their ears. This is it. Central. Life core behind that wall. I detect movement inside. Reza planted charges. Everyone stand back. Boom. The door blew open, fire and smoke blasting down the hallway. And behind it, waited. A creature stepped out. Not a shadow this time, not a shape. Real, flesh and bone. 9 feet tall. Long arms, skin like liquid armor. Its face was hidden, but its mouth was wide, vertical, and dripping with black ooze. It hissed, then spoke. Earth brings fire. Finally, and it charged. The team opened fire. Bullets, plasma. Fired, the creature roared, smashing into the front line, sending 2 soldiers flying. One hit the wall and didn't get up, but it bled. Where the plasma hit its chest, black blood sprayed. It sizzled on the ground. The creature screamed. Sarah's eyes widened. We can kill it. Reza rushed forward, dodging a claw, and fired. A sonic blast at its head. The creature stumbled. Another soldier launched a grenade under its legs. Explosion cracked its knee backward. It dropped to one side. Shrieking in pain, Reza didn't wait. He pulled a heavy spike from his back, a fusion lance, and drove it into the creature's throat. With a final roar, it collapsed. Dead silence followed. Then Nova spoke again. Captain? What? Happening? The entire station signal is changing. Changing how? It's retreating, shutting down. Lights across the station dimmed. Doors began closing. But this time, not to trap. To escape, Sarah looked around. We hit the heart. Now it's bleeding out. Reza stood over the creature's body. Its blood smoked. Its mouth twitched, like it tried to speak one last time. He leaned down. He whispered, and we don't kneel. Back aboard Aegis Dawn, they took off. Behind them, the alien station began folding in on itself, pieces vanishing into space. A self-destruction protocol. It knew it had lost. In the medbay, the wounded were being treated. Sarah sat with her datapad, logging the first confirmed kill of the unknown species. "We weren't prey," she wrote. "We were the first to fight back, and now they know." Captain Reza stood on the bridge, staring out at the stars. "This wasn't just a message to us," he said. "It was a message from us. Earth has entered the galaxy." He turned to his crew. "And we didn't come to talk." 12 hours after escaping the alien station, the crew of Aegis Dawn floated in silence. No celebration, no cheering. Yes, they had survived. Yes. They had killed one of the creatures, but they knew the truth now. This wasn't first contact. It was a test, a trap, a warning, and Earth had just announced itself. With fire, Captain Reza sat in the war room, staring at a large screen. Sarah entered, holding a datapad, her face pale. "Captain," she said, "we've picked up something." Reza turned another station. Sarah shook her head. "Signal. Buried deep in the echo bands of the last fight, activated when the creature died." Nova's voice joined them. The signal was directed at a specific location. "Where?" Reza asked. "Earth." They froze. The alien station. The enemy had sent a signal home, but the real twist was still coming. Sarah took a deep breath. "That's not all. While decoding the signal, I found something worse." She plugged in her datapad. Screen showed strange symbols. Alien. Code. Then, slowly, it resolved into sound. A voice played. A human voice. Old, faint. "If you're hearing this, you found them too." The crew leaned in. "I was there in 2132. First ghost ship. Derelict. Orbiting Saturn. We brought a piece. Back." Reza stood up sharply. "What the hell is this?" The voice continued. "We didn't understand it. We thought it was technology, but it wasn't. It was alive. It infected minds. Ideas spread through thought. They don't need ships. They only need curiosity. And then we buried it, lied to the world. But if you're hearing this..." Someone opened the door again. Silence. Reza stared. "At the screen, who recorded this?" Nova responded. "Voice matches missing Earth scientist, Dr. Elias Wren, declared dead 80 years ago. But this message was recorded 2 days ago." Sarah spoke quietly. "That's impossible. He's dead. Earth has no record of anything like this happening." Reza clenched his jaw. "Of course not." They covered it up. Suddenly, alarms went off. Nova's voice turned sharp. Captain Long-Range Scanners had picked up a ship. Reza turned. "Pirates? No. No known design. It's not human, not Council. It's coming fast." On screen, a strange ship appeared. Sleek, black, silent. But here's the part that chilled the crew. It was shaped exactly like Earth's old exploration vessels. Even had Earth's logo on the side, but Earth never built it. "It's copying us," Sarah whispered. "It watched us, and now it wears our skin." The ship didn't respond to hails. No lights, no signals. But one thing came through, a text message. Plain simple, just one sentence. "You brought it back. Now we return the favor." The Aegis Dawn went to red alert. Weapons hot. Shields up, but the enemy ship didn't attack. It simply moved to orbit a nearby moon, began digging. Reza watched, stunned. "They're not after us," he said. "They're after something buried here." Sierra scanned the surface. "Captain, something's buried in the moon." "What?" "It's human tech. Very old, deep under the ice, transmitting weak power." But she paused. "It matches the signal we just received." Reza stared at the moon below. "So that's the truth. Earth didn't discover them recently. We woke them up long ago." and we buried it. Now they've come to unbury it. Nova interrupted again, Captain. Shh. Multiple signals. 6 ships, all unknown designs, Sarah whispered. They're calling others. Reza looked at the crew. Get ready. We've poked something ancient. Something that's been sleeping since before we left the solar system. He pointed to the alien ships. Now it's waking up. And it's wearing our name. Sarah stared at the screen and asked the question no one wanted to say aloud. What? If Earth already lost? A long time ago? Reza shook his head. Then we take it back. Outside, the alien fleet grew larger and deep beneath the moon's surface. Something began to move. Not a machine, not a ship. Being massive. Old. And it remembered. Earth. The moon was quiet, cold, frozen, untouched. But not for long. Aegis Dawn hovered. Above its surface while the alien ship, the one shaped like an old Earth design, began drilling deep into the ice. Captain Reza stared at the screen. They're not just here to fight, he said. They're digging up something. Sarah was watching scanner data. Her hands shook. Captain, the object buried down there is alive. Reza looked at her sharply. Alive? Barely. But yes, it's giving off a slow heartbeat. Not organic, not machine, something else. Nova added in. Captain, there are memory echoes coming from the ice. Not just power readings, voices, events, history trapped in the surface. Reza raised an eyebrow. History of what? Nova paused. The first Earth contact with them. Long before we ever left the solar system. Flashback. Year 2132. Saturn research ship Helios probe. A man sits in a dark ship, cold breath fogging up his helmet. This is Dr. Elias Wren. Logging final message. His voice shakes. We found something on the rings of Saturn. Black orb, smooth, silent. It sang in our minds. We brought it aboard. That was a mistake. The recording flickers, screams in the background. It spoke our fears, became what we hated most. We were infected not by a virus, but an idea. We voted to destroy it. But it was already inside us. The final line plays. If this message is found, don't dig. Don't wake. It back in the present. Sarah pulled away from the recording, pale. This wasn't a new war. Earth made contact 100 years ago, and we covered it up. Reza said nothing. The truth was hitting hard. The alien ship broke through the final ice layer. Bright red lights flared then. Silence. No drills. No power. The ship stopped moving. They've reached it, said Sarah. The buried object. Suddenly, scanners went black. On Aegis Dawn's bridge, lights flickered. Nova's voice glitched. Signal interference. Rising. Unknown presence detected. Inside ship. Reza stood fast. Boarding alert. Nova paused. No, not physical. Something mental. Sarah's eyes went wide. It's happening. Again. Reza grabbed his rifle. Gear up. We're going down there. We stop them before they pull that thing out. Surface team descent into the ice. The crew descended in heat suits, using gravity ropes to rappel down the ice shaft. The deeper they went, the more unnatural it felt. This wasn't just frozen water. This was frozen memory. Walls pulsed faintly. Shapes shimmered in the ice people. Frozen in mid-motion. Human, alien, screaming, Sarah whispered. The ice recorded. Their deaths. They reached the bottom. In front of them stood the buried object, a massive black heart, 20 meters wide. Glowing faintly with red cracks, it pulsed. Alive, wrapped around it were old human wires, machines, concrete. Someone had tried to bury it, hide it. Reza touched one of the devices. An old Earth logo appeared. Earthwatch classified research. And then the alien ship opened. From it, 3 creatures emerged. Tall, shadow-skinned, their faces covered with masks. But they didn't. Attack. They walked calmly toward the black heart and placed their hands on it. The heart glowed brighter. Sarah gasped. They're not enemies. They're servants. worshippers. They came here to awaken it. The ice began to melt. The temperature around them rose sharply. The red cracks on the heart widened, and then it spoke, but not in words, in thought. Each crew member felt it differently. Reza saw burning cities. Tara saw Earth's leaders bowing before a dark throne. One soldier dropped his weapon and began crying. A voice whispered in all their minds, "Earth was mine. Before you even stood upright, you built your minds from my bones. And now you return carrying fire, just like last time." Reza. Furtive plasma hit the surface of the heart, but it only pulsed stronger. One of the creatures turned to him and spoke for the first time. "You cannot kill memory." Suddenly, the entire chamber shook. The heart's red light expanded. A psychic wave slammed into the team. Everyone fell back, screaming. Sarah clutched her head. "It's rewriting us, Reza. It's trying to become part of us." Reza crawled to a charge pack. Not this time. He armed a full fusion core and jammed it under the heart. A timer began ticking. He turned to Sarah. "We finished what Earth never did." The team scrambled back up the shaft. At the surface, they reached the ship just in time. From orbit, Reza gave the command. Nova, detonate. A bright light exploded from below. The ground cracked. Ice shattered. The alien ship was vaporized, and the heart gone. Back in orbit. Silence. Then Nova spoke. "Captain, no sign of the heart. No signal. No psychic field." Sarah breathed out. "We buried it again. For real this time." Reza looked out the window. Or maybe just delayed. 3 days had passed since the moon explosion. Captain Reza watched. The spinning ice clouds where the alien heart had once lived. Dead, sleeping again. But something didn't feel right. Inside Aegis Dawn, the crew wasn't resting. Sleep was. Rare. Nightmares were common. Sarah sat alone in the medbay, watching old logs from Earth's first deep space missions. Her eyes were red. Her fingers shook. We whispered to herself. We were never alone. They were here before, hiding in our thoughts. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed in the room. Not from a speaker, not from a crewmate. "You buried me. You forgot me. But I remember every word." Sarah spun around. Nothing there, just shadows. On the bridge, Reza checked incoming signals. Nova spoke. "Calmly, Captain. Earth has sent a ship." Reza straightened. Finally, backup. Nova paused. "Unknown. It's not broadcasting any alliance codes." He frowned. "Then who is it?" "No crew listed. Stealth class black hole." No answers. To our hails, the ship stopped 200 kilometers away. No greetings. No warning, just silence. Then it launched a small drone toward Aegis Dawn. In the hangar, the drone was brought in carefully. It carried no weapons, just a hard drive. Reza plugged it in. A video played. A woman appeared, pale face, military uniform. With no name, her voice was cold. "Captain Reza, Commander Sarah, you were not supposed to find the station, or the moon. This message will erase itself in 90 seconds. She leaned closer. "There was a war, a long time ago. Not with the aliens, but with ourselves. We found them. We tried to use them. They infected our ideas, our weapons. When we buried the heart, we buried the memory. We erased the past. Now you've dug it up. You are not returning to Earth. You are to destroy your ship, yourselves, and the data, immediately." The screen went black. Silence. Sarah stared at the blank monitor. "We're not under attack from aliens. We're under attack from Earth itself." Tension rose on the ship. Some crew members wanted to go home. Others wanted to fight. But then something worse happened. A crewman named Ortiz began acting strange. He sat for hours staring into nothing. He spoke to walls. One night, he entered the engine room and disabled cooling systems, nearly killed everyone. When they confronted him, he only smiled and whispered, "We are not just messengers. We are vessels." They locked him in quarantine. Reza and Sarah watched him through the glass. He wasn't violent, just empty. Sarah whispered. It got inside him. The heart, the station, the memory, as I looked around. Then who else has it? Began testing everyone. Nova ran deep scans, mental checks. 2 more crew members showed signs of foreign thought patterns, not infected, changed. One of them left a note. We heard the war drums in our dreams. The forgotten war never ended. It simply moved into silence. Sarah looked at Reza. We didn't just find a weapon. We found a buried civilization, and maybe we're the invaders. Suddenly, alarms went off. Nova's voice returned. Captain, the Earth stealth ship is charging weapons. Reza rushed to the bridge. Weapons hot, shields up. The Black Earth ship fired 1 missile, but it didn't hit the ship. It hit the moon. Debris. Boom. The ice cloud turned red. Fragments rained down. Then, from inside the debris, something moved. A long shape, dark, snake-like. Hundreds of meters long. Bioship. Alive. Silent. Hidden under the moon for centuries. The missile had woken it. Nova's voice cracked. Captain, that wasn't an attack. That was an activation. The alien bioship turned, not toward Earth, not toward the Earth. Black Ops ship, but toward Aegis Dawn. Reza gritted his teeth. It remembers us. Sarah checked the old signal logs. Her face went pale. Reza, the psychic voice inside our ship, it never left. It's still here. It's just been waiting. They looked at each other. The heart was only part of it. The rest is already inside one of us. The alien bioship moved through space like a shadow, smooth and silent, alive. Watching, it wasn't attacking. Not yet, but Aegis Dawn felt like prey on the bridge.
Captain Reza?
Stood beside Sarah and watched its slow approach. Behind them, Ortiz and the other 2 infected crew members were locked in. CRYO-containment. They weren't human anymore, but they weren't fully alien either. Somewhere in between, Sarah whispered. We didn't just dig up a weapon, Reza. We dug up a seed. Now it's growing inside us. Nova spoke softly. Captain, I've completed the memory sync from the infected crew. There's something you need to see. Memory playback, shared thoughts, Bassariza, and Sarah watched the projection. It wasn't a video. It was a memory, shared by all infected minds. A city floated in space, massive, beautiful, glowing with red and gold, alien, but familiar. Inside that city, humans and alien creatures stood together, not fighting, serving something at the center of it all. The heart, but much larger now. Its voice surrounded them. There was no war. We were not victims. You came to us first. Suddenly they saw an ancient Earth ship. It fired. The alien city burned. That was the start. Earth attacked first and covered it. Reza felt sick. Sarah's hands trembled. We were the invaders. We started the war. Then erased the history. Back in the present. Nova's voice returned. Captain, Earth's Black Ops ship is moving again. They've locked weapons on us. Reza knew what this meant. They don't want witnesses. They don't want the truth getting out. He turned to the crew. Only 12 members were left uninfected. Some wanted to run, some wanted to surrender, but Reza had made his choice. No more silence. No more lies. He opened a live channel to Earth, to the Black Ops ship, to everyone. Reza stepped into frame. This is Captain Reza El Amin of the Aegis Dawn. You told us we were going to meet new life. You lied. Said this was first contact. It wasn't. He paused, looking into the camera. You buried the truth. Sent us to die, and now you want to erase us. But we've seen everything, and we're sending it all home. Every file. Every memory. Every name. Earth tried to jam the signal. They failed. The truth was already out. Inside cryohold, one of the infected crew opened his eyes. Ortiz, he smiled and whispered, now they will hear us again. Suddenly the alien bioship opened, not to fire too. Broadcast, it linked itself to the signal Reza was sending. Now, Earth wasn't just seeing the truth from Aegis. Dawn. They were hearing the voice of the buried alien memory. It spoke in every language, in every mind. We were never your enemy. You feared what you could not control. But now, we remember you. Panic on Earth. Some leaders called for war. Others called for peace. But the people saw the truth, and the truth could not be erased again. Back on the bridge, Sarah looked at Reza. What now? Reza watched the bioship begin to move not toward Earth, but away into deep space. It's leaving, he said. We gave it voice. It's all it ever wanted. Earth sent a final message. Short, cold, return. Ship will be decommissioned. Crew to be contained. Reza smiled bitterly. They're scared of us now, not because we're dangerous, but because we told the truth. Shut off the Earth channel, turned to his crew. We're not going home. We're not running either. We're going to follow that ship, learn what they buried, share it with the galaxy. Sarah nodded. Let Earth write lies. We'll write the truth. As Aegis Dawn turned to follow the alien ship into the unknown stars, Reza gave one last message to any who might listen. They invited us to talk. We came with blood on our holes. Finally, we're ready to listen.